Hi, I'm Mark Duvall with the Linwood Fire Department, here to talk to you about fire extinguishers. There's some really important rules to remember when using a fire extinguisher. Number one is to always leave yourself an out. Anytime you're fighting a fire with a fire extinguisher, you got to make sure you got an exit behind you. Another important rule is to make sure that you have the right fire extinguisher. You don't want to go into a fire with energized electrical equipment and use your portable water can. Let's see, another important rule is to make sure that your fire extinguisher can handle the job. You want to go against a bigger fire than your fire extinguisher can handle. And the fourth rule is, what other kind of dangerous situations are there? Are there hazardous materials involved? All those things are good things to ask yourself as you're fighting a fire with a fire extinguisher. And if any one of those questions are positive, then perhaps you shouldn't be fighting a fire with a fire extinguisher. That being said, there are several different types of fire extinguishers. I have a bunch of them laid out for us. These two are dry chem fire extinguishers. This one is a CO2 fire extinguisher, and this one is a portable water can. Other type of fire extinguisher that I don't have for us is a halon fire extinguisher. These specialty type fire extinguishers are used in large computer equipment rooms, that kind of thing. They don't corrode the computer equipment, which is why they're used there. So now that we've kind of gone over some of the rules and stuff, let's talk about the pieces of our fire extinguisher. All our fire extinguishers have nozzles. This one on the CO2 can is a little bit bigger, but as you can see on dry chem and the water can, the nozzles are pretty standard small nozzles. It's got a lever here that you pull, that you squeeze, and shoots out your extinguishing agent. You got a pin here that you pull first, and we'll go over that in a minute. Well, that's pretty much it. It's important when you pick up a fire extinguisher to take a look at the gauge here. Make sure that it's full. If it's not full, there's no sense in using it to fight a fire. One of the things you can tell, especially with the dry chem extinguisher, but really with any extinguisher, is the type of fire it fights. The dry chem, it's an A, B, or C type fire, which is ordinary combustibles is type A. Type B is a liquid, flammable liquid fire, and type C is electrical equipment. The numbers in front of there that you might say, like for instance on this one it's a 4A, 60 BC, on this one it's a 2A, 20 BC fire extinguisher. The numbers 4 on this one stand for the square footage of fire that this can put out. So it can put out, by a non-professional, can put out 4 square feet of type A fire, or 60 square feet of a flammable liquid fire. And that's pretty much it. When you're using a fire extinguisher, there's an acronym called PASS that we use, which helps us remember how to use it. It's really pretty simple. Pull the pin, aim, squeeze, and sweep. So when you're fighting a fire with a fire extinguisher, you want to make sure that you pull your pin out like this, aim your nozzle, squeeze this down with your hand, and then sweep across, starting at the beginning of the fire and moving towards the end of the fire as you put it out. You want to make sure that you expel all of your extinguishing agent and put it out the fire completely. Other than that, fire extinguishers are pretty simple. Just follow those 4 rules that I laid out, and you'll be all squared away. Thank you very much for joining us today, and that's the end.